Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss a Bitcoin whale absolutely tanking markets yesterday. We're going to talk about Tom Lee continuing to press the buy button and a number of interesting plays that presented themselves over the weekend. Big weekend for on-chain. Had some fun stuff going on there. Before we get started, we're going to give a big shout out to our partner for today, Gemini. We love Gemini. We got a lot cooking up over at Gemini right now. The first of which it's super easy to get into is their credit card. Did you know that your credit card points and miles can lose value to inflation while they collect dust? Credit card companies often reduce the redemption value of their points and miles over time. Imagine a credit card with rewards that can grow in value. With the Gemini credit card, you can earn Bitcoin or one of over 50 other cryptocurrencies instantly with no annual fee. If you sign up now, you get a $50 Bitcoin bonus. Go to bodoggos.com/Gemini to sign up today. That's going to get you that bonus. That is the key to getting the bonus. Again, if you're looking to get some Bitcoin, Gemini, easiest way to do it. Also, they've launched an on-chain wallet. Pretty interesting here. No need to worry about seed phrases. They use passkey storage, passkey logging. You can use your devices to log in. Getting closer to Web 2 if you're someone who doesn't want to manage and store seed phrases, doesn't trust yourself like a Clemente, wants a little bit different access to your crypto wallet. They have that. And also, you can get peace of mind while you earn yield on uninvested stable coins. I looked at it this morning, 8% yield on stables, USDC on Gemini. You have a trusted partner. If you don't want to mess around with DeFi, if you want DeFi made easy, go to onchain.gemini.com. That's how you sign up for their wallet. That's their wallet link. Showing you a pretty cool partnership they have right now with Ridge Wallet. Nice little way to protect your card here. This little Bitcoin orange here. I thought this was pretty cool. That being said, big shout out to Gemini. We've got a big day. There's a lot going on in the crypto market. Sig, back at home, how was your trip? How you feeling? Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to get into the thick of this bull market?
Oh, I'm so ready for it, Ray. I'm so ready for it. I was telling Ray before, like I've been away for so long. I want to be like 9 weeks. I've been away, and I'm a very light packer. I'm not one of those women who is like hauling 2 suitcases with them, full of like one's full of shoes and one's full of clothes. What I do is I like to have like a really small suitcase, but you pack really efficiently, which is great. But that means you're kind of wearing and repeating the same clothes for 8, 9 weeks, and I'm kind of at the end. So when I came back. I'm never going to say the words that I have nothing to wear, because I came back, opened my cupboard, and it was like going into a shop. I was like, oh, what do I wear today? So that's how I feel. Feels good to be back in the sea. And it was the only thing that was really annoying about this weekend was that I was traveling and my liquidity pools went out of range and I couldn't get to my computer to be rebalancing. It was a bit of a nightmare. So I'm glad to be at my computer, at my desk, and sit down and click some buttons.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about Project X liquidity pools. Mine absolutely cooked over the last 24 hours. Hyperliquid did a ton of volume. Easy. Are your pools still in range? Have you been cooking over the last day or so?
I've had like fairly wide ranges on them, so they've been good. I have a stable Hyperliquid one that hasn't gone out of range in a while. I have to check though, because I don't have a good way to get like alerted when they're out of range. But when I popped in and checked, they were still printing, which is good. So like just farming points there. I like the K-Hype pair as well. I think that one's a no-brainer just because it should theoretically trade at 1 for the entirety of its existence, and you can farm multiple.
Yep. K-Hype being kinetic staked hype. They have a point system. I saw some very bullish predictions on the points there, being like $7 to $15 per point on K-Hype. And I think I got like 100 and some points on week 1 from doing my Bitcoin / K-Hype pair. So if those end up panning out, that's just one of 3 different pools you're farming. So we've been pretty bullish on Project X for a while on Hyperliquid. If you need any help getting in, if you want some advice, you want to talk about what it is, get more information, Bodoggos Discord, hit up me, hit up Easy, hit up Signal now. Signal's in it too, which is nice. We've got so much to talk about today, Sig. Why don't we just kick the weather report off? We'll get through all the big news, and then we'll just kind of dive into each piece because there's a lot that happened over the weekend, really.
Yeah, let's get into it. On Monday, August 25th, looking at that crypto roundup, the majors are down across the board. You've got Bitcoin at 111, Ethereum just over 4,600 after setting a new all-time high of over $4,900 yesterday. Solana is at $197 and Hype is up over 4% to $45, leading all top 100 coins on the day. Over the past 24 hours, top 3 stories were firstly, a Bitcoin whale sold $2.7 billion worth of Bitcoin, causing the total crypto market cap to fall 4% and liquidating over 250 million of longs in the 30 minutes following the sale. The whale still holds over 150,000 Bitcoin worth about 17 billion. Next up, World Liberty Financial's WLFI token launched on Hyperliquid on Sunday. The Trump family-backed token ran to a peak FD of 43 billion before falling to its current level just over 21 billion. And then finally, Solana is getting some additional buy pressure as a trio of crypto giants, Galaxy, Jump, and Multicoin announced a 1 billion raise to create a Solana treasury. Solana has outperformed other majors on the week. It's up 8% overall despite yesterday's sell-off. That is all for the weather report. It is back to you folks in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always, Signal. A lot to unpack there on a busy weekend. I think the top story on everyone's mind is this Bitcoin whale. Easy. I've seen a couple posts about this. I don't know how much more you've dug into this, how much you've broken down on this Bitcoin whale, but essentially, like, the long and short is they sold like a huge amount of Bitcoin into low liquidity on the weekend, which is like a very odd move. Like, what else have you seen about this, and what are your thoughts? Like, overall, is this going to be like a long-term effect on the market?
It doesn't matter. I think this is like a huge nothing burger, personally. I think a lot of people are like freaking out about this. They're just congrats, kudos to them. W's on the win. But I don't know. It doesn't, like, to me, I'm just like, dude, the S&P doesn't look bad. The charts don't look bad, to be completely honest. Bitcoin back even at 111, it's not like the end of the world. Like, the whole market is like, you should be expecting levels of volatility. The Fed watch rate cuts are up over 80 again. So that seems like it's basically a guarantee, especially after Powell on Jackson Hole on Friday. But yeah, I don't know. It's not unsurprising to see short-term pain into long-term grind-ups. Like, yeah, Fed watch is back to 85. A month ago was 61. Last week, going into Jackson Hole, was 72. So we're up 13% on likelihood of a rate cut in September. And then for October, it's sitting at a 93% chance for at least one cut. 43% chance for a second cut, 49% chance for the first cut or flat. December, looking at that, December's 50% chance we'll have two cuts, 34% chance we'll have three cuts, 15% chance we'll only have one cut. So I look at that and I'm like, okay, so the market's very aware. They got rid of the FATE system, FAIT, which was interesting to hear. There was a lot of speculation that they were going to, but to see them actually do that was where I was like, okay, so it seems like this is happening. It seems like they are
FAIT?
It's the way that they dictated money printing, borrowing, lending, rate cut likelihood, how they view job employment versus, it's like basically a framework for like what would justify a rate cut. And by them getting rid of it, it's basically like, yeah, we're going to cut rates now, even though some people don't agree.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what we heard on Friday live.
Yeah.
Let me listen to the show. Yeah, I mean, one whale selling a ton of Bitcoin doesn't make me scared. It more like I was in longs and I was like, I panicked. I was like, what the heck's happening? I was on an ETH long. I was actually at a first birthday party yesterday, and I was like looking at this ETH hit. I'm sitting there staring at my phone. All this stuff's going around. I'm watching ETH live hit 4,900, like euphoric. It's like that meme where like everyone's around you and I'm in the corner. I'm like, they don't even know that I'm long ETH and we're at all time highs. And then we see this massive dump, which is like wild. I'm like looking around, like I'm at the party. I can't figure out what happened. I have no idea. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna ride it out. I don't know what's happening. I'm not gonna cut this. And I've been adding more over the last 12 to 18 hours because I think this is flipping the radar unless there's something else I'm missing. Because my first instinct was to check rate cuts. Like, did something happen? And no, they're still going up. So higher for longer is my opinion. Not worried about the Bitcoin whale. If anything, it gave an entry on some of these right now where you have a little bit of a pullback below highs.
Yeah, I agree, Ray. This is the real nothing burger. I don't think there's anything to worry about. It always seems like as we're about to go up, like this happened with the tariff news. We're about to go up, boom, and then we go down. And we're about to go up, and then we go down. But every time, like we've been holding this range, and we're just sort of like bouncing around this 111, 112 range, and then trying to like chop back, like go back up to 120. So the fact that we've been holding this in August, when we've had some like pretty big news come out, which like historically would have moved us much further down, I'm really happy and chuffed. Like, okay, we're still going up. And now that, I mean, I was wrong on the rate cuts, which I was surprised. I was surprised about, but hey, being wrong also means, bags go up. So it's a positive all round. September, pretty much guaranteed right now for at least one rate cut, probably 50 basis points. Easy. Are they pricing in 50 basis points more than 25?
They're pricing in 25 for September, 50 by year end.
50 by year end. Okay, so it's all but guaranteed. So it's coming September. So it's basically, let's resume. Let's just resume business as usual. We know what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, we've been here. We've been here before. I don't think we're all but guaranteed in September. I think we're very, very likely. I think we're 85% chance, but we've seen like what happens.
I think we're guaranteed September. I think we are after Friday. That was the first time I did not expect Powell to come out that dovish ever. And for him to openly say like we're like, he in short was like, we're cutting rates. Like it was everything but that exact word choice came out of his mouth, to the point where like I've never seen the entire market rip as hard as it did. It was basically like, there's no reason for us not to.
We were in shock on the show and we were like, all right, well, long everything. I think we all took positions on the show.
Like you were just kind of like, okay, I've been saying it more and more. Like you can wait for those data points and like those talking points. And I've said it before, like the context I like to say is like, you can be late to the party, but you just don't want to be the last one to leave. So like you can make the trade late, but you just have to get out earlier than initially you would have. And that's truthfully how a lot more people should be trading, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. My worry is that like we get a bad CPI print in September. Like that's the only thing that like
it won't matter.
But
it literally will not matter.
No, it won't matter because this is a labor move. This is all about the labor market. And he basically said in his speech that he thinks that the tariff inflation is transitory and it's not going to be sticking around. And the labor market
so CPI matters so much less.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is that the labor market is so weak that there's not enough people to be even buying the increased price of goods. So for now, like it's transitory. Don't worry about it. Focus on the labor market. So I don't think it matters if we have a bad print.
The whole thing was basically saying like those job report revisions outweighed any data point that we're going to get. Like they were so bad to the downside that there is not a single data point that'll shift us from cutting in September.
All right. Well, I love the market even more right now. Continue to sit on an ETH long, irresponsibly, just liquidation or generational wealth for my Hyperliquid account right now. I'm feeling bullish. So good to see there. Speaking of Hyperliquid, we had World Liberty Financial launch. This was a pretty wild ride, opening up in the 30 bill range, spiked up initially all the way up to almost 45 billion. So we got 43.5 billion FDV, now down almost 50% from the highs. I was very, very surprised to see it this high in terms of FDV initially. Very, very surprised. I don't know where you came in here, Easy, on like valuation on World Liberty Financial, but this is like very eye-opening. Like for comparison, like SWI is at 34 FDV as the number 14 crypto token by market cap right now.
I mean, I saw some people saying this goes to $1. Would it surprise me if it did? No. Like, dude, it's the president's crypto asset. You know, like they'll crime this thing so high, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, can they? Can like, I don't know, like what levers they're going to be able to pull, and like, there's a lot of risk in terms of like regulation. Like, we flip over to a Democratic Senate and House in 2026, and they could be punishing Trump and make him leave this potentially. You know, like that's a concern. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but Ray, I also think like they've just happened to have released this token off the back of a very, very strong market where everything is done incredibly well. Like you looked at Plasma's valuation on Friday. And so if you look like when they were raising in the bear market, getting to 300 million was a struggle. So in a bear, they struggle, and in a bull, they're doing really well. So I just feel like they are just following the tailwind of what is happening across the board. I was surprised at the valuation that it did come out, because I was thinking the meme coin got to 24 billion. So I was thinking, oh, okay, we'll probably see something around that. I was not expecting it to go so high. But this will be interesting. What they're doing for holders is that they have like a lockbox whereby, so just to go back. So they're not unlocking everything for the pre-salers. That you can only claim 20% of the tokens. The other 80% will be unlocked if a governance decision is taken that we will unlock them. And so the first stage goes live today, where there's some kind of lockbox which unlocks the contract for your wallet. And then in September, so I think it's next week on the 1st, that's when the tokens become tradable for people who are in the pre-sale. So I imagine we're going to see some more downward pressure on this, but it'll be interesting to see like how this token does for the rest of the year going into the end of Q4. I imagine that it will probably follow the news cycle. So if something very bullish comes out for the industry, you're going to see the token go up, and if something bad comes down, we're going to see it go down. I think it's just going to be almost like another meme coin token within itself, even though it's actually like utility behind the company.
Yeah. I mean, the numbers just surprised me. Polymarket had a market that was a $13 billion market cap one day after launch. It was sitting at 76% on August 12th, so that got smashed through. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. And you talked about Plasma. Plasma is sitting at a $5 billion FDV, being Tether's like essential stablecoin chain. It just seems to me that like I'd rather long Plasma XPL versus World Liberty Financial, but I mean, I can be completely off. I mean, this is a chart that sold off significantly too, so I mean, there may be room back for the upside as there were buyers at some of these levels before. The big winner in like all of this, Bitcoin whale, World Liberty Financial token doing tons of volume, is just Hyperliquid itself. Like Hyperliquid did a ton of volume. I was looking at some of the posts about the whale, and they did more spot Bitcoin trading value than Bybit and Coinbase combined on Sunday. Given its low liquidity, it is the weekend. It just shows you like the level that they are playing on in terms of like the big boys with Hyperliquid, and that's just spot because the whale sold spot on Hyperliquid. I'm going to pull up the revenue, over $6 million in revenue, 5x Tron over the last 24 hours, 5x Pump Fund, etc. Still behind the stablecoin players, almost caught up to Circle on the day. But Hyperliquid just continues to do more volume, and they're becoming more of like the everything market at this point. Perps, they're doing spot, they're doing pre-market. So like they're tapping into a lot of these different verticals, getting a lot of volume with a lot of users on their platform. Their metrics like continue to be up and to the right. And I think it's reflected with Hyperliquid today being one of the only tokens in the green over the last 24 hours, leading all top 100 coins. Easy. What is your end target on Hyperliquid? Is it $100? Is it
150?
$150?
Mm-hmm.
So where do we shake out like market cap wise? Does it like where does this thing land, and like say like what's your bullish location of this on the top like 10? Is it top 5 eventually?
Yeah, probably around there.
Get to a top 5 token.
I would say around there. Top 5, top 10.
Absolutely wild that we've seen this basically kick off in the last 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
From nothing to currently number 12 with everyone being very bullish on it. Love to see it. This could be like, is this the winner of the cycle that we look and point back to? Already doing great. Anything else on the Hyperliquid side that's interesting to you before we move on? I know there's some other fun things that happened over the weekend. No.
Nothing more. Like I just don't think you can really fade it anymore. It definitely feels like at that point where when Solana got to that kind of $80 bit, and then you saw people who had been fading it for a really long time jump over from Ethereum to Solana. It kind of feels like this is that moment for Hyperliquid, and it's just going to continue to have its run for the next 3 months, depending where the market is come January. Who knows? But it definitely feels like it should be one of the plays going into the rest of Q4. Like that's kind of how I'm thinking about things, is how do you kind of line yourself up for the next 3 months? And this pretty much is a mandatory in the portfolio in some kind of way.
Yeah, I think I 100% agree. I'm like, I was late, but I guess I wasn't that late. I'm happy I jumped in when I did. I wish I jumped in more last year as opposed to sticking maybe around Blast a little bit too long, but we'll see. Speaking of emerging markets, we had a big little push over the weekend. Football.Fun, Easy, you were tweeting about this. You convinced me to jump in. I did pretty well on this. I think I made like plus 50% on investment. This is basically fantasy soccer. You buy players, you hold them, you earn points in tournaments. But this saw like a very large push on socials, real large push on volume. We saw a huge run up on market cap of the total platform. Essentially ran from easy calling it out at like 30 mil FDV across the platform to a peak at 150, like a clean 5x. What are your thoughts on this platform? Are you still participating? Are you still holding any of these players? I'm holding a handful. I basically trimmed initials and some more. I have like a handful of players. I basically jumped on the back of your research in your chat GPT to kind of like buy some of these guys. I know nothing about soccer, but I've just
I don't know anything about football. But no, it looked good. Like the math was the big thing for me. I looked at it and I was like, the math on this is not making sense. The entire market cap for every player combined was between 30 and 50 mil. And I'm like, dude, we had single launchpad coins go to 300 mil. So I was like, okay, something on this feels off. Let's take a swing here and see what we can do, what we can find, how we can move this. And that was kind of my play. It was like, okay, this is the angle we're gonna attack this with. We're gonna find some plays on this. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna get a little active. So I deployed a bunch of capital into it. I did well yesterday. I even posted like yesterday morning. I was like, I'm taking some profit here. I'm up astronomically. It's better that
Can you explain how it works? Sorry, can you just explain how this works?
Every player is a liquid token. They have a 4 mil circulating token allo, right? So every single player on there has about 4 million total tokens. They limit how many each player can buy. There's a tax on how much you're selling. So if you sell too heavily, you get taxed more. So you basically have to clip out small. So it's like respectful selling. The fantasy style works by the top player in each class, midfield, forward, defender, and goalie earn you points. Your points then get you packs. You open up packs, which are only based on tournament points. And those tournament point packs give you more tokens for each player. They drop 10 new players, I believe, once a week. Go ahead.
So is this based on real games happening in Champions League or anything? So so it's following
Premier
real
League,
life, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
So
it is following all that. They do tournaments. I want to say the tournaments started. They do Friday to Sunday and Monday to Wednesday. I think whatever the schedule is, but Premier League just
Monday, Tuesday to Thursday is the midweek.
Okay. So yeah, based on the actual like. Yep. So it's still early, and that's the thing is like so many people are now calling the top on this, and like I still have a decent allocation. Like I still think I have like $20,000 or $25,000 worth of players, just because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to dump the first sell off that we've had after a parabolic move up, where the platform yesterday got heavily botted, which kind of led to some FOMO and panic selling. I'm almost at a point where I'm like, should I just buy more players? Because like I'm a little bit more interested in that. Like the market cap's now back down to 77 mil. Which is what it was on August 23rd.
I haven't withdrawn my gold from the platform, and I'm very much on the same side right now of like doing like some deep dive into this and like targeting some people who can run.
Yeah, I mean, dude, look at it. The average player is down like 50% right now, and the whole market cap just dropped from 155 back down to 77 mil for the whole ecosystem. That's total ecosystem combined. There's still ample stables on the platform. So I don't know. I look at it. I'm like, I think the whole market shake and like sell off has caused some shakiness. Yeah, I don't know. I look at a lot of that stuff. So I'm just kind of like, why would I not want to just wait right now and see where it can go from here? I guess. I don't know. I'm still optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, there's $3 million of gold balances right now that can be deployed in the ecosystem. So, I mean, everyone got really excited about this. If you were somebody who was like, so you felt the FOMO and you said, you know what, I'm going to sit on the sideline. If you were really interested in the platform and you were really kicking yourself for not joining, like maybe take a small flyer, maybe test it out here at like potentially a local bottom. But you know, anything that we talk about is very risky. So like, I mean, this is like when all in all, like you look at it, it's a meme coin platform that ran from nothing to 150 million in a week and then back down to 70. So it's going to be very volatile.
And just as an outside observation as well, looking back at things like Fancy Top and Frentech and all this stuff that has come out historically, you always get this period where it runs up and then something happens that makes the keys or like whatever it is, whatever the assets are in an ecosystem go down. There's always some kind of FUD that does that. But the really good games that are here to stay and are like they keep the players, they keep people coming back in. So I'm just like, if it's actually a good game, people will continue to play it. And what's really interesting is like, I don't know how long I've done this podcast with Easy. I have never heard him talk about football. And Ray, I've never heard you guys talk about football. So to see you guys so like into actual soccer, if you want to call it that, and be trading it, for me, that's a successful product, because these are people who don't talk about soccer normally and have, like, you guys talk about your NFL and your baseball and all that kind of stuff, but I never hear you talk about soccer. So for me, it means this product must be sticky in some kind of way already.
Yeah, I mean, I even tweeted, I said, I know nothing about soccer. I just, ChatGPT was my resource.
That's all I did. I was like, who's good here, who's bad, and it panned out. Like, it caught most of the runners. I mean, I know like Salah and a few of these other big name guys that I was like, okay, I know who these people are, so let's go with them. Passed on like the top, which was Yamel, who's like this young prodigy type player. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know a ton of stuff about it, but I just knew price goes up.
You cannot butcher Lamine Yamal's name. Come on.
Whatever, dude. I'm not a soccer guy.
I'm not a soccer guy, but I remember he was in the Euros. He scored, I think he's the youngest to ever score in the Euros, like last year, 2 years ago. He's a beast. Yeah, so I may try to grab some of him because he's just going to be like a fan favorite at that point. But I think ChatGPT does a good job of like talking to you. And it's like, hey, these top players are just overvalued right now based on the scoring system and what's going on. They're just, it's purely on speculation. So there are some angles to be taken here. Football.Fun's the site. We've been having some fun with it over the weekend. Again, risky. I've already took my initials, took profit. I may jump back in this week if we continue to see this dip, and I do enough research to say, okay, well, maybe there is a little bit more here, a little bit more meat on the bone here. Moving on though, Tom Lee just doesn't know how to not press the buy button. $2.2 billion worth of Ethereum was just disclosed as purchased from Bitmine over the last week. They now hold $8.8 billion worth of, this is not the right link I clicked on. $8.8 billion worth of Ethereum. They're at like, I think over 2% of the total supply. Let me find the right one. Bitmine Immersion. Here we go. 8.8 million crypto and cash holdings. $8.23 billion worth of ETH. So they've been spending most of their cash holdings on ETH, which is interesting. I know they're trying to raise that $20 billion at the market. So like that's going to be part of their purchases. Looking over at the strategic ETH reserve table here, this is yet to update from that most recent buy, I believe. They were sitting at 1.4% of the supply previous to that. 1.7 million Ethereum total. Oh no, it looks like they did update it. Okay, these are updated numbers. Yep. So just shy of $8 billion for Bitmine, 1.4% of the supply. Sharplink Gaming in number 2, led by Joe Lubin. If you remember last week, he said, hey, we have the advantage over these other companies in that we have the relations and we have the deeper understanding of ETH. Joe Lubin being like one of the ETH co-founders. So Sharplink Gaming is like not shying away. They are like kind of in a distant second right now, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them closing the gap and making some noise as well. So continues to be bullish for ETH, in my opinion. This is what's like leading me to just continue to be an ETH bull. As long as these guys are aggressively bidding it, I'm going to continue to be bullish. Once these bids stop, I'm going to be a little bit more worried. What are your thoughts on these reserves, Sig? Like, how do you see this playing out? Is this net positive? Are you worried about this? Like, what are your general thoughts on this?
I do think like long term, depending on how things go, this could definitely become a house of cards situation. It's not right now in this accumulation phase, but it just feels like if you have any kind of understanding of crypto, it's like get the underlying, grab as much as you can of whatever it is you want, and then just use these companies as essentially signals of like what could happen in the future. So like you're saying, if you're seeing that they're not buying anymore, the news that came out last week around MicroStrategy, like you could see that the price of the share sold off a little bit, not too much, but you kind of see that people got jittery about it. So it definitely feels like these like some of these companies, it's good that MicroStrategy are being flexible and not sort of like changing their rules to the point where it's staying fixed to the rules to the point where it's detrimental for the company. But by them changing, it makes investors jittery. So actually last week I sold off some of my MicroStrategy shares because I got in really early and I was like, right, I'm just going to take some more profit here and then put that just back into Bitcoin. So for me, it's like, right, just as long as these guys keep accumulating the assets, it's a good thing. It's going to be an asset on their books. But I'm definitely still looking at them as like, you can kind of think of these guys as their canary in the coal mine. So if something is going wrong, this is one of the first places you want to be looking at things. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel confident holding a lot of these companies. I just prefer to hold the underlying.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm still holding MicroStrategy. I'm very jealous that you were able to clip some profits and got in early enough. I'm still waiting for a day where I'm in the profit. It's gonna be a while. I think I bought it like $530, which is like up here somehow. It's just unreal Robinhood buy for me. But it's long term.
But Ray, just the only reason I'm in profit is because when the ETFs came out, I couldn't get exposure to them. So I wanted to get exposure, and the only way I could do it was to get MicroStrategy, which is why I got in so early. But I think if you have exposure to the ETFs, at this point in this market, do you really need to have such a leveraged play on it? I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know if it's necessary because the market needs to develop so much for analysts to really understand how to price MicroStrategy. And I think you could be holding it for a while before it really sees like back over 600 again. Sorry, 580, 580.
It might be this cycle. It might not be this cycle. But yeah, like I think I understand my thought on MicroStrategy isn't like I'm not buying them because I think it's just a leverage bet on Bitcoin. I think that they're going to be the first major crypto company that does something new and novel in the financial system when the financial system more goes onto a Bitcoin standard. They're gonna have so much capital that they're going to be able to do some interesting and new things in terms of like DeFi that are going to be just blow people's minds that people just aren't thinking about right now. That's like I can't even think of them. I can't tell you like what they're going to be, but I just know that when you have that kind of capital, you and this percent of the supply, you can do some interesting things with that capital in the long term. So like this is a long-term hold for me. I keep joking like I'm down bad on this, but it's not one that I'm like sitting here like losing any sleep over.
No, I agree. But I think sometimes what they do, like I know they have multiple products that have come out, but I mean, I keep up with what they're doing, but even I don't understand at a deep level what is it they're actually doing and how how each individual product works, and that's what makes me nervous about holding it. It's just like putting your faith in the team and say that they know what they're doing. But I don't know. I had to deleverage a little bit and just be like, I'll keep a position. If I'm right, great, but I'm not gonna like worry about having such a large position because it was disturbing my sleep basically when I saw this sell off. So I was like, no, I'm gonna sell off, and then now I can sleep at night and just hold this and be like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Whatever.
Yep, I'm with you. Breaking news: if you're a fantasy top player, hopefully you played John Wang this week. John Wang just announced he's joining Kalshi as head of crypto as they make a move over to crypto. This just broke in the last 30 minutes. I haven't looked into this yet. This is kind of exciting. Easy was talking about prediction markets on last week's show, saying he's got stable set aside to buy potentially Poly Market, potentially Myriad Markets. You're very interested in prediction markets. It looks like they're going to be pushing Kalshi to be more on-chain. Kalshi being like the leader, like the forerunner, getting like legal prediction market access in the United States. If you don't remember, like they were legalized to like have US betting on politics, like maybe 1 month before the election. Like they made a last minute push and were able to get that approval. So like they were one of the only prediction markets that US users could like legally use and participate in. So excited to see them moving towards crypto. It looks like they're moving on chain here, which is super interesting. They have US backing. This is another big competitor. They've been partnering with Robinhood. Looks like also Webull to do prediction markets. This is cool. Does Kalshi enter that list of potential token drops? Like if they're coming on chain, is there going to be a token? Are you interested in participating in any Kalshi markets? Easy? Are you basically kind of like, hey, I just want to get exposure to these guys through tokens.
Myriad, Polymarket, Kalshi, all of that. I'd want any exposure. I want all of the
And then that includes equity exposure too, right? Like if for whatever reason you have Kalshi equity exposure.
If they go public for sure. For sure.
Love it. So you're just like bullish prediction markets as like a new primitive.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how you can't be.
Yep. Taking a look over Robinhood, it's living over $100 now. Easy bringing this up on the show. Sub 30, almost sub 30, right around $30 when you just basically bottom tick this during the tariff sell-off and had this vision. You've continually said what Robinhood did 200, then a split. Is it prediction markets that had you the most bullish, or is it just like the combination of what they offer?
Everything. I mean, the prediction markets were like kind of the like, don't call it nail in the coffin, but that was like kind of like the last thing for me to be like, okay, this is hands down the most interesting thing for me, because now it's just giving gambling. Like, it sounds crazy, but like you're opening up gambling on top of your finance stuff. It is the everything finance app for retail.
Yep.
So that was where I was like, oh, they're doing everything. Like, dude, you can get a mortgage and I can bet on Sunday Night Football right from the same app. And I can put my 401k in it. Oh, and I'm not done yet. Like, it's insane.
IRA, equities,
yeah, like
interest on cash.
Like I can go and get interest on my cash, order a $300 cash delivery to my house, then use the same app to bet on if Patrick Mahomes is going to throw a touchdown. Like, for me, that's insane. And then I can go and buy Dogecoin, like all in one, all for my fingertips. Like, and then go buy option contracts that expire the same day. Like, it's just hyper gambling, and its attention span is getting lower. Yeah, I don't know. For me, the more that I like thought about it, yeah, crypto. The more you think about it, the more you're like, how do you not become bullish on this?
The everything casino for every level of the gambling, from the most risk averse to the most risk tolerant. Essentially, they want to cut on all money that's moving throughout financial markets, whether it's levered up options.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, dude.
4%
They're like kind of scammy. It's crazy. They're kind of scammy with the AMC GME stuff. They delisted Solana and now we're like back on it. Like, I get it. I get why people don't like them. But that whole thing was like, yeah, I'm almost more bullish because so many people don't want to use it because of the garbage stuff and activities that they previously had. Like, sometimes you just got to accept it, dude. Like, if you can make money on a publicly traded company because of poor management that they've had previously, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I feel like with Robinhood, like I just followed you on this when you were like wouldn't stop yapping on about it. So first of all, thank you. But I think what's interesting is that like it's not an app that I had even previously used. Like, I didn't download it until after they did their presentation in Cannes this year. But I feel like if there's one company on the European side, which the equivalent of, which is Revolut, and I would say if Revolut IPOs this year or next, which there are rumors that they might. The way I feel about Revolut is how easy feels about Robinhood, and I would say that would be a stock to look out for. But they might not IPO, they might just stay private. But it's like you can see it. They've got crypto, they've got banking, they've got everything. They've got everything coming in there, and their advantage is that it's a European app and it hasn't dug into the American waters. And I don't think they'll try too hard. So that would be one that would be on my watch list for 2025, 2026.
Yeah, I still haven't bought any Robinhood. I just have followed all the way up. It's been very upsetting to me. So continue to stay sidelined, continue to be bullish. I mean, I could probably buy here, but I feel like I have more upside on my capital in the pool market elsewhere. Love to see them continue to win, though. Love to see everyone who followed along continue to win. We asked the audience, I think last week, who all bought it, and it was like overwhelmingly yes from almost everyone in the crowd, which was great to see. Love to see our listeners winning. That basically ends all the big topics I've had like prepped for today. I'm going to run over some quick hitters that you can get every day in our newsletter, dailybones.com to subscribe. I write this out every weekday and on Saturdays as well. Big news from the week. Heavendex locked their tokens for a year as their platform metrics began to fall. Metaplanet acquired $11 million worth of Bitcoin over the last week. Strategy acquired about $350 million worth of Bitcoin over the last week. Grayscale filed for an Avalanche ETF, and Canary filed for an American-made crypto ETF containing crypto companies based and approved in the USA. Sticker Pack now allows stickers to be minted on-chain on TON, that's Telegram's blockchain. And a proposal to allow Layer 0 to purchase Stargate Finance has passed. So we may see a little bit of a bid war there. A couple companies looking to purchase Stargate Finance. That breaks down the quick hitters. We've got all the topics covered. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap for the day?
No, I think that's everything. It's weird that the market is a little bit volatile, but still kind of quiet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm continuing to be bullish. I'm going to buy any dips I see. Like we're seeing, small pullbacks. We're still over $4,500 ETH. We're approaching $200 Solana. We're living above $110 Bitcoin. So I can stay bullish longer than the market can stay irrational right now, in my opinion. Until we see like a big shift or some other major news, I think we're just going to continue this trajectory.
I think September it all comes roaring back. Like it's August, it's going to be quiet, even though I don't think it's been quiet, and it's going to be butts and seats from like the second or third week from September. So I think by then, no, actually we got rate cut 11th. I think it's the 11th. So expect then that we're going to have more activity coming. But I think it's doing extremely well, and just be patient. We've only got a few more weeks.
Yep. And pay attention to the Bodoggo socials today. We've got some big announcements dropping. New platform we've been working with, new partner. You'll see more there. Jump in the Bodoggo's Discord if you want the early inside scoop by a Bodoggo to get in. Thanks all for listening. We do this podcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms. Catch us on Spotify, Apple. You can watch us on YouTube. See what we're talking